Happy birthdays as well. You always find the latest courtyard permanent solution. Out of the box.
Hello and welcome to Radio Waves by Todderbert. If you enjoy reviews, comparisons, band scans of new and classic portable radios, then make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon to miss any of my future videos. In front of us we have the Duronic EcoHand. It's an AM FM emergency rechargeable portable radio. I bought this radio for $9.99 from Amazon, and here it is. I own the other two variations of this radio. I got the Apex model and I have the hybrid model, and I got the EcoHand. Now this one was $9.99. I didn't expect much. I thought it was more of a novelty type radio, but I was pleasantly surprised when I started using it. So let's go over this radio. Here's the box, EcoHand AM FM radio. There is a misprint on the box. It says solar charge. There is no solar panel, so just disregard that. We'll probably have to contact the company and tell them to remove that. We have battery free. It does contain an internal battery that's not replaceable, but you don't have to add batteries to it. Wind up power, so it does have a Dynamo Crank on the back, which I'll show you. Eco, picture of the radio, sweet. Got little bullet points on the side there. Headphone port, lightweight, wind up, no batteries, torch. That's cool, has a flashlight. Yeah, the hybrid model doesn't, but this radio does have a flashlight. Pretty neat. Okay, let's go and open this box up. Empty out the contents. See what we get. Okay, right away we get a cable. Get this radio out of here. And there's something else. Okay, box is empty. I'll show you what we get. So first things first is we get this cable, and this is used to charge your external devices. You plug this little guy into the radio, and you use this part to plug your USB devices into. I guess I didn't have room to incorporate this larger USB jack into the radio itself, because it is a fairly small radio. Now on the website, when you look to buy this radio, I'll have links below, you'll see that the radio says you can be charged via two methods. One by the Dynamo Crank, which is the only method I could think of. The other one is by USB in. Well, I asked the company, I said, how do you charge the internal battery with the USB? There is no USB in, it just says DC out. And they said, well, you can use a male-to-male USB cable to hook up to a power block and then plug this into the radio and it'll charge that battery. And that's what I did. And it worked great. So I'll link another product description so you get an idea what that cable looks like. I believe they're like for a couple bucks you can get one of those cables. The Apex model actually ships with the correct cable to do that with. You would hook this up to your power block and hook this up to that DC port. Now, I use this, but you can also use that extension cable I showed you. They don't sell this separately. I wish they did, or I wish they included it with this, but I guess it would add too much to the cost. But there's a way to do it, and I'll link that below. I'll show you how this works too with charging. It's pretty impressive for a $9 radio. Again, very impressed with what this radio can do. All right, next is the manual. Pretty much multilingual. It's a book, it's stapled, really nice. You know, attention to detail is always a cool thing. You know, you're getting something nice when they do that, especially for a $10 radio. I wasn't expecting a stapled book. But here we go. You can see the sensitivities, the FM and the AM band coverage. Looking down here, you'll notice the radio working time after 1 minute of cranking is 10 minutes. Radio working time after being fully charged is 2.5 hours. Now you're wondering why that's such a low amount of time. It's because this radio is really small and it has a tiny battery in it. If you go down here, it says phone talking time after 3 minutes of cranking, 2 to 8 minutes. I would say that's pretty close to correct because this Dynamo is actually pretty good. And I'll show you that to you when we get the radio out. So here we go, lighting time after 1 minute of cranking equals 30 minutes. Not bad. It has a flashlight that's pretty weak, just enough to get you to a better flashlight. That's what I would definitely, I'm a flashlight guy, so yeah, definitely would want a better flashlight. But it does work. Here we go, specification of built-in battery. It's an 80 milliamp hour, 3.6 volt battery. And I've never seen one that low of capacity, hence probably why it's 2.5 hour runtime. I ran this radio for a couple hours and had no issues, ran great. And yes, you could spin the Dynamo and crank it, but I used the USB charge, so I didn't have to do that. But otherwise, yeah, pretty simple. And they do give you a 1-year warranty, which I was pretty surprised. There you go. Okay, let's go to the radio. Radio. I'm on the Mexican radio. How's that song go? You guys know what I'm talking about. It was on the radio. I listened to that. It was awesome. I'm going to use this little cardboard here to kind of, so the red on red doesn't get washed out here so you can see this radio better. Right away, I love the color combo they've been using, Duronic. You know, if you've noticed, you probably see my other videos. I'll link above in the iCard section. But yeah, here's the hybrid model. They got this white, red, black going. I really like it. But one thing I noticed right away is it's high gloss plastics. There's no soft touch. Their hybrid model and then their Apex model here all have this soft touch plastic to them, but this little EcoHand doesn't. And I actually like that. And I wish the other two radios had the same feature. That'd be really nice. Let's go over dimensions. So we're at 5 1/4 inches across, 2 5/8 of an inch tall, and 1.5 inches, 1 inch and a half in depth. I can say that right. Let's go for size comparison. We'll bring out some small things first here. We got this, and let's see, do I have my Skywave handy? Show you for size. I'm going to kind of bring this up just a little bit. Bring that back down. So for Skywave, yeah, this is one of my smallest little emergency radios. So yeah, I'm sure they make smaller ones, but it's pretty tiny. Okay, gives you an idea there. We have Iron Man. There you go for a deck of cards. I'm always a proponent of having a deck of cards with an emergency radio. You know, it can kind of this one would be kind of hard to rubber band to it, but you maybe up in the front here, you would take your deck of cards and attach it, you know, with a rubber band or something, those big Ranger bands. And then we have entertainment along with your radio. So if you're without power for a while, you have something you can do with the family or play solitaire if you're by yourself. So there we go. And let's see. Let's go ahead and show the other models. So yeah, here's the hybrid. Give you an idea of the size for the different company-produced radios here. See their differences. There's no solar panel on the EcoHand, just that Dynamo. I think that Apex is the big one, comparably. We'll just kind of bring it in the frame here. That's their biggest flagship radio. That one's like 20 bucks. Yeah, so there you go. Alrighty. Let's talk about features of the EcoHand. I'm going to bring this back down. Yeah, downtown. What a cool radio for 10 bucks. That's what I'm going to say. And I'm probably going to keep saying that. Let's go over features. Left-hand side here, we have like a magnifying lens. If you can see that, it's pretty cool. This has a magnifying type. And over here is a switch to turn it on. So I'll turn the switch on. And you can see it's 2 lumen. It's enough to light up the room when it's really dark out. So you have no problem using this flashlight. So there's that little flashlight. Here we have a headphone jack right in the front there, which is great. This is really good. It's surprising. This little speaker here, yeah, you can imagine it's tinny. But on the headphones, it actually is a good experience. No low-level hiss, which I found incredible. And also tuned very nicely as far as voice and music's concerned. So yeah, good listening experience. No stereo, but that's to be expected. And if you look, they even used a metal sleeve on that jacket there. That's a really good sign of quality. Again, $10 radio, and there's a lot of attention to detail on this thing. Now here's our DC out. That's where we plug that little cable in I just showed you to charge our device. And I'm going to show you that in operation here in a moment. And yeah, so that, and then you can use the input. So you use the same cable and you hook up that male-to-male USB connection so you can get adapted to your power block. And you plug this in there and automatically charge the battery. So it's a DC in also. I wish they would have added that text, DC in/out. They did that with the Apex. So you can see here it says in/out. So it's the same feature on this radio. That's what they told me. And it is. It works. In the front here, we have 1 1/4 inch speaker. It's pretty tiny. Here's our scale. Our FM on the left there is 88 to 108. Our AM on the right is 530 to 1600. I believe it tunes a little higher than that, and we'll check that. Down below here, you'll see a tuning indicator, LED, which is really cool. For a little radio, it has a tuning LED indicator. Another fun thing about this radio is it's an analog radio with no DSP chip. Yes. Can you imagine that for 10 bucks? It's a real analog receiver that really surprised me. So you'll hear it's a really smooth tuning. I love it. Right hand side of the radio, we got the tuning knob. We got the volume on-off switch there. We have the band select switch on top there, AM, FM, and you saw the light switch for the light there. It's just these little slide toggles, which is kind of nice. Makes it easy. On top, we got a little baby antenna. Yes, this thing extends out to 10.5 inches, but surprisingly, the FM reception is great, and we're going to talk about that too. On the back is our Dynamo Crank. It sits in there nice and smooth. I like how it sits here. It stows away really good. And yeah, real easy to hang on to. For a small radio, they designed this pretty good. You can spin this fairly quickly. So yeah, let's go ahead and demo that cable. So what we'll do is we'll plug this in here, and we just hook this up. So yeah, this is a demo of the Dynamo. Okay, I'm gonna have to bring this up because I don't know how much we're gonna need here. Okay, so what I'm gonna use for this demo is a TIV DO-V115. You guys have probably seen this a few 100 million times on YouTube all over the place. I took the battery out. This is the cool. I actually hooked it up here, USB. Now, everybody knows that this radio will work on USB only without the battery. So what we'll do is we're going to hook up the cable going to that, to my little EcoHand, EcoHand. Now we're going to go ahead and use a Dynamo. I'm going to turn this over. This cable, look at this cable out of the way. I usually undo that. All right, so if you watch, start spinning this, and it says welcome, and then there's your battery charge indicator with it lit up. Now, if I had a third hand, I could actually turn that radio on and it'll stay on. You just got to maintain a steady speed. There you go. Well, you can see it does output and it does a good job. So if you wanted to, you could have this radio, let's say something like this, as a backup, and you could actually use this to charge this radio. Pretty cool. All right, I'll show it to you guys. Pretty impressed with that. It is a working Dynamo and it works great. All right, let's get this zoomed on down. We're going to do some FM talk here. So yeah, FM reception report. So I always like to talk about this. This radio did really well. Didn't expect much from it again. I thought it was just a novelty thing. But I like to do FM reception reports because I can't play FM music because of issues with copyright and blah, blah, blah. But I do it on a 5-star basis, pretty much 5-tier. Starts out as fair, okay, good, very good, excellent. Most analog radios fall in the middle between okay and good, with an average of 48 stations. This radio fell right in that middle. Couldn't believe it. With a 10.5-inch antenna, sitting upstairs, I found 46 stations with this thing on the FM band. Couldn't believe it. I mean, it's... For a $10 radio, I'm really excited. And it's an emergency radio, too, on top of it. Just floored by that. So, yeah, sensitivity was okay to good, which is fantastic for a little radio like this. And then selectivity was okay to good. I believe it has an AFC circuit because it was easy to tune in between the stations. A little harder to get sensitivity because the antenna is fairly small. Now, you could probably extend this antenna with a little wire to get better reception. So if you're stuck in the boonies and you're looking for a way to improve reception, you could always try that. All right, I'm set up with a C-Crane FM transmitter 2 to broadcast music over the airwaves to 97.7 megahertz using an iPod with royalty-free music from YouTube. This avoids any copyright problems and gives you an idea of what this little radio sounds like. Let's go ahead and turn this up. Now I'm going to have to extend the antenna. A moment here. 10.5-inch antenna. All right. All right, gives you an idea. Yeah, it's a rather teeny speaker, but it works pretty good. I'm going to retract this antenna. If you notice, there is no NOAA weather bands on this radio, but a lot of people, you know, you just need an AM radio pretty much to get news. That's what I would use. My AM 780 WBBM near me. They'd have news on what's going on. Not necessarily need to have the weather on here, but yeah, so not bad so far. Let's go ahead and tune the AM band. I'm going to go ahead and unplug my transformer to my transmitter and turn off my MP3 player here. And let's see what we can hear. Now, the cool thing I mentioned about this radio was it's analog, and it's analog tuned. Pretty fun. In the evening, this is daytime hours. We're at, what's the current time here? 3:36 p.m. Central Daylight Time near Chicago, Illinois. We're going to pick up daytime stations. In the evening, I picked up stations outwards of 500 to 600 miles. So you can expect some reach with this little guy too. Again, for $10, it's a great little pocket, emergency radio. It's just a fun little thing and great gift for somebody. And also, it is usable. Some people love this for a little bug out bag or bug in bag, whatever you want to call it, or in your glove box of your car. It's just that usable. So let's go ahead and turn on the radio here, an AM band. Let me make sure I turned it. Yeah. Many of my videos, I forget to hit the over to AM, and I'm sitting there tuning to FM, like, what's going on? Let's turn this back on. Now, if you notice, the volume control is a little tight. So if you turn this a little too far, it will blast your eardrums out, especially with headphones too. Be careful with this volume control. Take your time and turn it real slow. Let's go ahead and turn this on. Here we can pick up on AM band. I think that was 540. It's kind of a distant station, kind of low power to pick up, especially this little radio during the day. But we'll pick up all the strong stations.
It's Town Bank. For more information, visit townbank.us. It's Town Bank. It's my bank. It's the best bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Gruber Law. One call, that's all. It's not only our slogan, but a...
Kind of scroll up the dial here so we can hear.
You ever see Kentucky Fried Movie, Tanny?
Yes.
Oh my God! And there's a thing that's like a fake sex album, like.
Okay, this is 670 The Score. This is so that last station I think was 620 WTMJ in Milwaukee, and this is WSCR The Score Chicago 970. The dial may be close to accurate. We'll find out as we get closer to the 770 there.
It comes in and takes care of your partner just in case you.
This is home of the Cubs.
Okay, it's brilliant.
The more you know.
Yes.
So do we need to fact check Ruben in any way on the starch, corn, veggie, fruit variety?
Well, that one, I don't know.
Ball got hit a mile. C6'2", 200 pounds, 23 years of age, makes his home at Ball Ground, Georgia. There's Altuve, and that's down the middle for ball one.
Oops. Yeah, I think it's reversed for me. I think I'm used to turning it this way to turn it down, like most radios, like my Sanjins. But you have to go this way, clockwise, to turn it down.
Ace to give up 27 runs.
This is 720 WGN Chicago.
Back and now the count, 1 ball, 1 strike.
White Sox playing.
Jose Altuve, his numbers 304, 20 home runs and 51 runs batted in.
And there are guys in this lineup with monstrous offensive numbers like Springer and Altuve that have missed a lot of games.
Like 0% for 72 months, plus $1,000 bonus cash on select new Fords. Visit Web Ford on Indianapolis Boulevard.
So I was able to get Zoomer radio, which is cool, about 460 miles away on 740, which I was pretty surprised with this little radio. Right now we're at 780 WBBM Chicago. You can see the dial isn't quite accurate, but if you use your radio enough, you'll know where you're at on the dial.
Free lenses for kids with a complete pair purchase. They carry brands like Oakley and Versace. Plus, they work with all major vision plans.
If you notice, the tuning's nice and smooth, and the tuning light is very handy.
Valid prescription required. Valid participating U.S. locations. Restrictions may apply. See store for details. Offer ends 9/30/19. Eye exams available by independent doctors of optometry and or next to Pearl Vision in most states. Doctors in some states are employed by Pearl Vision.
Phil, I found a great checking account.
It's about time.
Lakeside Bank has this.
There's a scene, there's an instance where the Germans used the dogs.
Okay, so this jumps right to 820. This is WCPT, Willow Springs, Illinois, about 40 miles away.
Ruthlessly murder a young Russian soldier. And the only thing
family members not reach out to him.
This is 850 WAIT, Crystal Lake, Illinois.
That I know because I spend intimately on a day-to-day basis with them. I know are from the brain injury. I know he doesn't mean to forget special things, their birthdays or things.
Hypothesis being tested. All you're doing, if you do it that way, it's amazing.
This is 890 WLS, Chicago, Illinois. High-pitch ring coming from my camera. Every radio I review has the exact same high-pitch whine on 890.
Nobody who works in the mainstream media voted for Donald Trump. Nobody with editorial power.
Now, there might be some faint stations in here, like some Madison, Milwaukee. We probably won't be able to get too much here. It might be a Chicago station hidden in here. I'm sure if we used a passive loop, we could get some more out of it, but it's a $9 radio. We're just going to show you what it can do on its own.
You'll be offered the opportunity to opt in for the lifetime pasta pass for an additional $400 plus tax. All right, here's how it works.
So right now we're at 1,000. This is ESPN WNBP, Chicago, Illinois.
August 15th, 2 p.m. Eastern Time sharp, so 1 o'clock for us. The original never-ending pasta passes will go on sale.
Giving them like a free commercial.
At pastapass.com.
I think this is 1030 WNVR, Vernon Hills, Illinois. But just a fun little radio. I'm enjoying every bit of this little guy. I just love the the non-soft touch plastic, the high gloss plastic. That's just perfect. Like I said, I wish their other radios were the same, but I like their hybrid model too, with the solar panel. I know I'm getting on a tangent here, but yeah, this one's a little bit better sounding. It's got the bigger speaker. This one's got a standard USB charge in. For like a few bucks more, you can get something a step up if you wanted. One thing you don't get is a flashlight on that radio, which is kind of a bummer. Having a flashlight is not a bad thing. Alright. Maybe they'll change it as they watch my videos, because I will send them links. Okay, guessing here, I think this is probably WMBI, Chicago, Illinois. Just a guess, I'm thinking.
Most of them ended with treaties. The treaties may have been unfavorable. But what happened in the first couple hundred years of North America, there weren't a lot of treaties then. Throws a curveball and...
Okay, so this station here.
A point that nobody ever makes. Because it's only in their...
I love the non-DSP stepping. I can get right back to where I want to be. 1130 WISM, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Not bad.
Conflict between the people that were originally here. It wasn't like there were a lot of maps here either.
When it's a day like it is today, anybody can live in the world like we have today.
This is 1160 WYLL, Chicago, Illinois.
Is opening up or something's going on. That's when your foundation is brought to the forefront.
And the squirrel's right about up here. There it is. There's the squirrel. I can't hover on it. I get a better reception when upstairs on that station for sure. This is Chicago, WRTO 1200. Tuning knob's a little stiffer, but it's not bad because once you find your station, it's going to stay there. If you bump it, it's not going to go anywhere, which is, I don't mind. Let's see what else we can find, and then we'll stop the video. I'm on the Mexican radio. That song is stuck in my head. I have to download it. Okay, I think this is WSBC, Chicago, Illinois, and I hear little static bursts. We might have some storms coming in. I didn't know that. Okay, I think this is WRDZ, LaGrange, Illinois, which is, what is that, 1300 AM? Okay, that music there I think is 1380 WBEL, South Beloit. And we'll just go to the top of the dial. It's pretty sensitive to the top too. Okay, this is 1590. It's WCGO, I believe, in Illinois. And that's where I'm going to stop, at about 1600. Okay. Let's go ahead and turn the radio off and do final thoughts of the EcoHand AM FM emergency rechargeable radio. Should you buy it for $10? Go out and get one. This thing is great. It's so much fun. You got a flashlight, you got a headphone jack, you got a little speaker, yeah, but headphones sound good on here. You got an analog tuned radio, AM FM, with a tuning LED indicator. You get a Dynamo Crank. You get this eyeglass plastic, which is nice. I love this look. And it's really portable. It's like I said, it's like the smallest of my emergency radios. I think it is the smallest. Thickness and everything else. Like I say, you got a flashlight. Not bad. Yeah, for $10, it's a no-brainer. I mean, if you're a radio guy and you love radios, you're going to like having this guy around. It's a lot of fun. It's refreshing. You know, it's one of those things where you just get tired of those cheap DSP Chinese radios, which unfortunately I do have a couple more coming for review because everybody likes to see those. I just like the fact that it does not have that. I love the fact they're using an analog circuit with a tuning indicator that works, and a radio that works too. I mean, this radio is really good, the FM and the AM. And for $10, yeah, no brainer. Go get yourself one. Be honest with you, you don't need their Apex. I mean, you could get this if you wanted, if you liked all these features, the alarm, you know, having a twin speaker thing. It's just a little bulkier. If it was one or the other, I would pick the hybrid if you don't mind the soft touch plastics, because this is again an analog radio, which is great. Or I'd pick the EcoHand. You know, if you liked having a solar panel also, pick up the hybrid. But if you need a flashlight, get yourself this little EcoHand. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation of the EcoHand AM FM emergency rechargeable portable radio. Please give me a like. You guys are awesome. 2, if you like this brand, Duronic, I've been contacting them back and forth on email. Let me know. You guys got some ideas. I already told them they should incorporate the NOAA weather bands in their future set of radios. And if they build a radio like this, all analog, with NOAA weather band and a rechargeable circuit, a bigger battery, I'm all over it for sure. So yeah, hit subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notified of those future videos. And 3, of course, comment below what you think about this particular $10 radio emergency. Would you go run out and get one of these? Were you impressed like I was? Or were you just like, Todderbert, you're crazy, dude? Let me know. All right, guys, take care, and we'll see you in the next episode.